Tonight, we are going up against Satan's gate. I'm a little concerned, man, about your salvation and stuff. How come you have not been baptized?
Because I never got around to it, okay? I don't know why you always have to be judging me. Because I only believe in science.
Welcome to Hispanerds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hispanerds. This is Alex.
This is Kenji.
And we are here to talk about what if.
Yes.
So I'm back after being gone for, I think it was 7 or 8 days or something like that.
Before we hit up what if, tell me about your experience on that road trip.
It was too much. I mean, there's so much to talk about. It was weird because it was, we never had enough time in each place because we were moving from spot to spot. But the little bit of time that we got to spend, and actually, I'll say, my favorite place that we went through was Zion.
Right.
And we got to do Zion twice, on the way there and on the way back.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so that was really cool. But what we didn't get to do, and what I was really looking forward to, and what we talked about once we went back the second time was we just need to do a couple hikes and camp there again, because it was absolutely stunning, man. Just beautiful. And it's crazy that exists 6 hours away from here.
Right. I'm actually going to be over there in a couple of weeks.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm staying at St. George. I'm taking my parents over there with the family.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a beautiful spot. And again, so easy to get to drive-wise. Like, that I never knew. I just, it's not something that we'd ever done. It's not something that we'd ever tried to go to. So I just didn't have the concept of how far away it was. And it's nothing. Yeah. You leave in the morning, you're there in the afternoon, you set up camp, and you're good to go, man. And
right.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the little town, even though it's like a little tourist trap. Yeah. It was still really cool just to drive through.
Going through there, did it look dirtier than you? No. Like they cleaned it up and everything?
It looked super clean. Was it dirty before?
Well, remember I told you there was a flood?
No, it looked perfect.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and we drove through Steamboat.
Oh, cool.
Dude, so beautiful.
Right?
It totally reminded me of, like I was telling my wife, it's like a Christmas town.
Yes.
Around.
Yeah.
Like the amount of Christmas trees all the way through, it's crazy. And like by the time that we got to Iowa, where we dropped off my daughter, we noticed that people use Christmas trees as walls to block the view to their house. So they grow them in a very specific way, not to sell, but just to use them as walls so like you can't look into their house.
Yeah, little barriers.
Yeah, very fascinating. But yeah, man, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. It's just rivers and like and if you notice the people there are all like in really good shape.
Dude, on our way back, we were there Monday. We were back there in Zion. And everybody, like local, must have come up to go hiking on a Monday. Yeah, because everybody was in hiking clothes, getting ready to go out, and just, young, old, whatever, everybody's in shape. It was crazy, and I think it's the same way in Colorado too.
Well, yes,
just people are very much into hiking. And
so you went through Steamboat, and then like what else did you go through? Like
on the way there was not the way that we came back. So on the way there, we went to Laughlin, Zion. We went to
Laughlin.
Yeah, we went to. Oh, I got something for you next week. I brought something back for you, but I forgot it this week, so I'll bring it back. I'll bring it to you next week. But we went to Dinosaur National Park, which was a little bit out of our way, but not too much.
Is that in Utah?
It's on the border of Utah and Colorado.
Oh, okay.
One side of it's in Utah, the other side of it's in Colorado. But it's this thing called the Dinosaur Quarry, and it was really, really cool. I put pictures up of it.
Yeah, I saw.
And so then from there, we drove straight through to Nebraska, and we went to Omaha. And then from Omaha, it was only we stayed at an Airbnb, which was really nice. Like the guy that's
the video you sent me.
Yeah, the guy that had his house as an Airbnb, kept it real nice. So it was like it was a 4-bedroom. They like every house there has a basement. And
Yeah.
have you ever been through Nebraska?
No.
Like Omaha or anything?
No.
Okay, so it tripped me out. All the houses are made out of brick, almost all of them, and they're beautiful old school style houses, like 1920s,
Very vintage.
very vintage looking. Yeah, and all those houses have basements because they have tornadoes there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was beautiful, man. So the place that we stayed at was really cool. It was 4 bedrooms, fit everybody perfectly, and then from there we went to Iowa. And you know what a cicada is?
Yeah, they're like
These ugly bugs.
These bugs that come out every like 15 years. They're underground, and then they hibernate for like 8 years or something like that, and then they come out of the sudden to mate and stuff, and then they die.
You might be right, or you might be thinking of different bugs. I'm not really sure. All I know is
Because
that
I literally just saw a video. I mean, I saw the documentary on those years back, and then all of a sudden they came out again because when they first came out, it was like 8 years ago or something like that.
well, dude, this was a year because they were everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. They're ugly little punks.
Yeah.
Like and they're like one thing that we noticed.
They look like little aliens.
Yeah, they do. They totally look like little bug-eyed aliens. But one thing that was totally weird that we noticed, that me and my daughters, my little ones noticed, is if you would walk by a tree that had cicadas, they would stop chirping. And then when you pass by, they would start chirping again.
Yeah.
And then we started seeing, because when we were on campus for my oldest, we were walking around campus and we would see people walking by the trees, and then they would stop chirping and then start chirping again when nobody was around. So we thought that was fascinating. But
and see, the reason why there's because they basically flood the towns and stuff like that in places, and the reason why there's a whole bunch of them. If you notice other insects that basically come out every so months or year, birds, animals that eat them. They know when they're gonna hibernate and come out, so they know when to attack. These, because they hibernate for such a long time, birds and stuff like that, they forget. They're like, oh, we don't know when these guys are gonna come out. So all of a sudden, when they come out, like within, I think it's like 8 years.
And there's thousands of them,
Yeah,
dude. They're
it's
all
crazy.
like, it was crazy how much sound was coming out of them.
They're loud.
They're super loud. And when we were in Iowa, this is the only time that this happened. But also, we were like walking. Me and my niece, we were walking, like back towards the car, and it started raining so hard, like it wasn't like
That sounds good.
It wasn't like plat plat plat. No, it was like somebody turned on the faucet full steam, and we just got drenched. It was crazy. Everybody got soaked like that. Like we had to go back to the hotel. And
Was it cold or nice and warm still?
It was humid, so it was warm.
Oh, okay,
so the
nice.
water, yeah,
I kind of like that. Like when it rains like that, like I could walk out and
yeah, I don't like humidity, but it does. It's more comfortable.
Yes.
If it's warm, if it's cold, like you just feel like you're getting beat up.
yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure.
Like that's the kind of like I like jogging in that type of weather.
Oh
If
yeah,
it's raining.
yeah. I could see that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. On the way there, my oldest and I were driving in the front seat. I was driving; she was next to me, and we saw a lightning bolt that came down. Because on the way there, we saw like a bunch of. We went through a storm, or we were always behind it. There was a storm that was in front of us.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, big time. But we saw a lightning bolt that came down that was easily as thick as a building, as thick as like a high. Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, gigantic, dude. It was like
Jeez.
so crazy, but it was beautiful too because we would that the night that we did like basically a long push for a drive to go from Dinosaur National Park to Omaha. That was a 12-hour drive, and so we decided to just do it all in one shot to get
Dude,
over there.
non-stop. That's crazy.
But the way that the sky looked with the clouds and then lightning would branch out. Oh, dude, it was so beautiful.
So you saw this like flickering.
Yeah, it was gorgeous the whole way through. So, and the other thing, man, we were so grateful for is that on the way there and on the way back, no traffic.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, you know what was crazy? On the way back, we went through Colorado. On the way there, we went around Colorado because we had gone to Dinosaur National Park.
Oh, okay.
On the way back, we went through Colorado, so we drove through the tunnels.
Yes,
it goes through the
right.
mountains. That was crazy.
So you went through the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, did you pass through? I'm not sure if you did. Then, did you pass through Central City?
We passed through Central City. We passed through
So
Grand
did
Junction.
you see like the casino design?
Yes, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. We passed through Grand Junction, Central City. We passed through Denver. We went through Denver. We did basically. We cut through the heart of Colorado on the way back, and then we went through parts of Utah. We were too far away from Salt Lake City, so we never went around there.
Okay. So I'll say this is actually really nice.
I heard it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
pretty. When you because I know you were going back down through Utah and you hit up Zion again. I can't remember, but there's another national park before Zion. Like if you're coming,
There is.
I just do you remember the name of that one?
I had it on the tip of my tongue right now when you said it. It's a name. It's like it's like Herbert or
I think it starts with an H.
It starts with an H. It's
Not Holt.
No, not Herbert. Not Hoover.
Hebrew.
Not Hebrew. But yeah.
okay.
It is. It's before that.
Yeah.
And then do you know what a oh my God, I can't remember what that's called either. But my wife was looking them up. It's little houses. They're tents, but they're round, and the walls are made out of tent. But they have like a wood flooring, and you could stay in them. They're like
They're like teepees, but round.
but they're round, and there's a name for them, and I just forgot the name of them. But
Igloos?
no.
That's-
But she was telling me about that, and on the way back, we started seeing them, and I'm like, hey, look, it's the thing that you were talking about. And so, coming back through the way that we came through Colorado, we actually got to see a lot more of places that you can stay because there's different like cabins and stuff. It was really cool, man. Like, I mean, cabins and then those things which are cabins, but they're like. But I was telling my wife like, kind of sketchy because that will not stop a bear at all.
Yeah, but this is Utah.
Coming through Colorado back into Utah, but coming in from a back road
Yeah.
into Zion, because when you go through Zion, you go through that little town and
Yeah.
you come in. Well, we came from the back end where there's another guard.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
I haven't gone through there. Yeah.
We came in through there and we drove through. That was
See, that's what
gorgeous,
I'm planning to
man.
do because we're taking our parents, and I know they can't do like crazy hikes.
Right,
I
right.
told my sister like we're not doing crazy hikes. We're just gonna take them to scenic routes. So we're gonna
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
up
yeah.
Zion. I want to hit up that other park that starts with the H,
yeah,
and then we want to do Bryce Canyon as well because it's around the neck of the woods too.
yeah.
And we're gonna be there for like 3 nights, so it's enough time
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
do all.
If you plan one every day,
Yeah.
you'll be good. Yeah, so beautiful, man.
because my parents have never been in that area, so
And then because we were coming back through that back part, we went through the tunnels in Zion National Park as well. Which is, I mean, have you been through those?
no, because
Dude.
I never gone through the backside.
Dude, it's a long continual tunnel that they bored through a mountain.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. Yeah, it's amazing. I've pictures of that. I think one.
Did you guys hold your breath?
Yeah, yeah. We passed out and died. No, but it was amazing. It was just beautiful. Like I can't believe that kind of environment exists. I mean, it totally looks like a science fiction environment.
Yeah.
So, otherworldly and beautiful with the way the rocks.
Breathtaking.
Yeah,
Breathtaking.
it's amazing.
Yeah, and then
So-
something that my sister sent me literally a few days ago, which people that do like hiking, like if you want to do Angel's Landing, you should start preparing for that because and training really well for it because it's not gonna go away soon, but they're gonna start doing probably permits because another guy literally died, fell from the trail because it's the second most dangerous hike in the United States.
I see.
And it's not that they fell like on the very top. They think he fell probably because he got too close to the edge.
Right.
And I think he dropped like 1,200.
Woo!
So-
1,200 feet.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise.
And he was an experienced hiker too. So and most people think that people fall where the chains are, where you're holding. That's usually like where people don't fall. It's usually like when they're in the top and they're either doing like an
Right.
Instagram shot or
Right,
something
yeah.
idiotic. But yeah, so right now they're thinking of putting like permits where you have to now get not a certificate, but you have to apply for it, and they'll limit like a certain amount of people that will go, kind of like
Yeah.
Dome from Yosemite.
Yeah.
Because we're planning to go to Yosemite in a couple of weeks, but we found out that it's a raffle. You have to apply, and then it's a raffle because they only allow up to 300 people a day to do it. So that's probably what they're gonna do for Angel's Landing, just because there's too many people now going there, and that could cause like accidents and stuff.
I think this year has really seen an uptick in people traveling and exploring. One thing that I saw a lot on the road are these converted vans. Like we rented a 15
Oh
passenger
yeah,
van,
yeah.
but we saw like a more short version of that, but higher, that has like beds and like a little kitchen, and it was really cool, like modern.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like a little kitchenette and everything.
yeah, it was
Yeah, those
awesome.
are cool.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of those on the road. So a lot of people,
Yeah, they're out
traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time. Like
Yeah.
that's a good experience, especially for the whole family.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
your kids must have loved it.
They
Some of it?
they loved and hated. Like when we, it was crazy.
Are we there yet?
The
Are we there?
yeah, the Dinosaur National Park was so beautiful, but we had a hard time sleeping that night. We set up our tents and everything, and my oldest thought that she heard somebody walking around outside, and so it kind of kept us on alert. And then there was a lot of wind. Oh, one thing that we kept worrying about when we were at the two campsites was flash floods, because we kept getting alerts for
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was tough. Like once my oldest was like, I think I heard somebody walking around in our camp outside. Then it was just kind of, I slept too late, so I didn't get enough, really good rest.
Yeah.
So that was rough. And then, but then some of the kids had to do homework while they were on the road,
Yeah.
still. So that was kind of a little bit tough. But other than that, like, my wife got a membership to the aquarium over. It's the zoo / aquarium over in Omaha, and it's probably one of the best that she's ever been to. Like the way that they set it up. Like I didn't go. They went 2 different times.
This is Omaha.
Yeah, in Omaha. She was describing there's a certain section, and at first I was like, "Are you kidding? I mean, that sounds dangerous." But then she explained it. There's a certain section where it's like a playground for little kids, and the way that the zoo designed everything, they have these like
Lions.
things that are up above. Yeah, they have these things that are up above that are like tubes, but also have like tight netting, and these little monkeys were able to go up there, and they would like, so the kids could see them and they could see the kids.
I'm surprised they haven't thrown feces at the kid.
I guess it's not those type of monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's not the kind of monkey that is like asserts itself like that or is aggressive like that.
Oh, okay.
But my wife was like, she took pictures of it and she was describing it to me too, and like the way that they have it set up. Oh, they have like a sky thing, like a where you sit and you go over.
Yeah.
So like the sky thing takes you over rhinoceroses and giraffes and all that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and she said it was like one of the best designed things she's ever seen. It was really rad. So
This is Omaha, huh?
yeah, Omaha is very interesting. Like
I've never been in that area. How far is that from
12 hours.
That's 12 hours.
12 hours from 12 to 15 hours from Zion. Something like that. Yeah.
It's
I mean, we literally got into the middle of the country. Like when we got into Nebraska and then into Iowa, it's just cornfields. Just, I mean, as far as the eye can see, and flat.
Right.
It's crazy. So
That's a cool experience.
yeah, it was awesome, man. That was awesome. So anyway, that's the trip for that. We'll finish that off now. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about what if.
If it's good.
Man. Again, just continuing the beauty of that style.
Yes, I really enjoy it. I love the ambiance of the lighting, the light sources that they put on the characters. It's every you pause it and everything is like a desktop screen.
For reals. Yeah. I mean, the way that the light glows and the characters and everything, it's just, it's pretty amazing.
He is jacked.
Yeah. I mean, in a way that he was never jacked in the movie. But that's the beauty, too, of making the animated, being able to work with animation is you can change everybody, however you want.
Yeah.
But this was so the second episode of What If. I saw online a couple people were bummed out about it, and I'll tell you why.
I haven't really been looking for people to.
People didn't like the way that Thanos was being used.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I saw that, but it makes sense.
To me, it doesn't. It's not even about making sense or not making sense. It's that you can play with the toys in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to give Thanos this background and to give him this storyline it doesn't bother me not one bit.
Yeah,
there's nothing about this. It's like that pushes back that I push back against, and I think, oh, you've dishonored the character. Like, this is literally what if Thanos was not the Thanos that we met.
Exactly.
What if this was a different Thanos and had a different relationship with everybody?
The name of the show gives it away. Like, people shouldn't like get upset about this. There's scenarios that. I mean, again, what if
already at the beginning? So this is major spoilers for everybody. In this, what if it comes with it, they put out the idea of what if T'Challa had been picked up by the Ravagers instead of Peter Quill,
mm-hmm.
and you get to see T'Challa's influence in the universe and his influence with the Ravagers and what life could have been like, for the universe that we know that we've been a part of this whole time. And T'Challa's influence is just he makes the universe better.
Yeah.
He talks things through. He's more diplomatic. He's
words can do a lot.
Yeah,
that's what basically it's showing.
And then this group of Ravagers is a lot of fun to like see. You know?
Oh man, I forget his name, but the guy that is a big fan of
Black Panther,
Star Lord, the black guy is like a big fan. He's like, my god, man, he was so awesome. Every time he would come out, he would steal the show, man.
Yeah. And I loved how animated they made him. Like, he was always very like excitable.
And when he lost the fight, he lost like with a smile.
Classic Star Lord. Yeah, this is awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it saddens me because this is like this was the last time we were gonna hear his voice.
This is the last Marvel thing that we get to see him do. Yeah. It's. Such
But it was also his last. Like
I don't know if that. I don't know if it was the last performance, because I think technically he still has like a movie or two in the can somewhere.
Oh really?
I think so. Oh. But
interesting. I didn't know that.
But definitely
that was such a cool.
Yeah, definitely his final performance in the MCU, and it was just a beautiful tribute. Like the way that they did it, it was just fantastic. And I've become super impressed by the fact that they have most of the original voice actors, or most of the original actors coming back to do the voice.
Yeah.
Two, that they're able to condense a complicated 2-hour story into a 30-minute, little vignette and give you a new way of thinking about something. And then the artwork. I mean, my personal bias, because I'm an artist, is if the artwork isn't good, it doesn't matter how good the story is. You're going to be distracted.
Yeah, because you gravitate by visuals.
Yeah, and so the only time that's ever different is if you're strictly reading a book. If you're strictly reading a book, then you're making up the images in your brain.
And if you're a good artist, dude, that's a good image.
Yeah, that's a good way to work that part of your brain out. But with this, I mean, just everything looks so carefully crafted and thought out and so beautiful that it just makes it enhances everything more.
Yeah.
You know, and again takes it to this place of like where DC Comics for a long time they have dominated the animation space with their animated feature films, and
Right.
I mean they've just been killing, but this is on a different level. This is just to me.
Yeah.
To me,
No, yeah.
you know, What If is on such a high, crazy level that I think they have gold on their hands.
Well, it's not just that the animation is good, but it's also the acting, like the voice actors. It's on point. The what's that called? The music, that's the track that they use and all that. That it's everything is just really really legit, and the story is it's because it's a 30-minute show, and it's nicely tight. Like you're not bored at all in anything. I mean, to me,
no, not at all. I mean, it moves perfect. Everything makes sense. Everything is
and they throw you off. It's so crazy.
A lot.
They know how to throw, because you're thinking that it's gonna go this way, and then you're just like, oh, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And then I love, man, Howard the Duck. That was so cool. Now I'm hearing rumors that they might be doing a series on Howard the Duck, like an animated series. I'm not sure if it's true or not. But I have to dig into that. But
so originally, a long time ago, about a year or two, maybe 2 years now, Kevin Smith was hired by Marvel to do a Howard the Duck series, and it never went anywhere.
Because he wanted to do He-Man.
No,
It's just
but they did can it for some weird reason, and I think Howard the Duck is always a character that they're trying to
bring back
all the time, but it's been tough for them to conceive of him, you know, I guess as his own standalone.
Right.
And one interesting thing about Howard the Duck also is that technically he's owned by Steven Spielberg. So
I did not know that.
So Amblin, which did
Jessica Rabbit, Roger Rabbit,
all that, and Jurassic Park and all.
Yeah.
Technically, it's owned by Amblin, so it's a character that they can borrow, but Howard
easily, just because Disney already. I mean, they already partnered up with them.
Yeah,
so.
they borrow him all the time. I mean, Howard the Duck is 100% a part of the Marvel comics, but he's also had his own standalone movie. Yeah, you know, and that had nothing to do with the comics at all. Yeah, and so
I didn't know that it had nothing to do with the comics. I had the movie. I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating that, and they've done that with a few different characters. Whenever I do any work for Upper Deck, when I do my Marvel work, they'll send me a list of characters that I'm not allowed to draw because they've been in Marvel stuff, but they're technically not Marvel characters. Like Conan, like Marvel put out Conan the Barbarian for many, many years under their flagship, you know, comic book banner. Yeah. But I'm not allowed to use him. Same thing with what's it called? Rom Space Knight is the same thing.
I never heard of Rom.
Yeah. Rom is another property that Marvel used for a long time, and now they're not able to use them. So there is cross pollination. I mean, there's even been the same thing with DC Comics and Marvel Comics where they've had mashups, you know, team ups together. Right. So, yeah, but I've heard the same thing. I've heard that they're trying to figure something out for.
And I think this is I mean, they did it in a good way. They shown like little sneak peeks of him, like in the live action. Yeah. And now this is the first time they actually put more dialogue on him. Yeah. And
because the last time he's like, "You're really gonna let him lick you like that?"
Yeah.
You know, like just a little tiny.
Right. Yeah. So they're probably trying to see if people gravitate maybe towards them, and if there's like a good, and I think there is. So
yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think the character has a ton of potential. So,
but I don't know too much about the comic books. I know he doesn't have really powers. I just know he knows martial arts, right? Like, he says he knows martial arts, like duck something martial arts. I forget what he calls it.
I'm not.
Duck Fu, I think that's what it's called.
No clue. I honestly can't even tell you if he's got any powers at all or any abilities. Like he's kind of his
He's
thing
more
is
like a smart aleck.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know, but again, just really amazing second episode. I love that little the thing that they do with the logo, the Marvel Studio logo. They animated it.
Oh yeah,
It looks really cool. So, you know what we didn't get into last time that I wanted to address this time was the Easter eggs for the first episode and Easter eggs for the second episode.
I thought we did the
No,
Easter
we didn't.
eggs. Oh,
We only
didn't?
talked about doing Easter eggs, but we're like we should have done them, but we didn't. We didn't do it.
Okay. I mean, the only Easter eggs I saw. I mean, did you want to do the first ones or on this one?
Both of them.
On both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna remember the one on the first ones, but
Yeah, let me look it up real quick. You
Go
talk
for it.
a second.
because I know the second one, the one that's in my head is Mjolnir, Captain America's shield, and when he puts in the what's her name, Thor's sister's helmet thing. So those are like the Easter eggs that I recall for if episode number 2. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I noticed that
Here,
was an Easter.
give me 1 second. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, keep looking. I'm just thinking to see. I mean,
All right, I'm gonna bring it up on your
oh, go for it. Do it.
All right, let's see. We're going to go back to episode 1, Agent Carter. And we're getting the Easter eggs from BuzzFeed. So we're going to go through these together. So let's see here. All right. Oh, this is what we were just talking about. Just a moment ago. First, not so much a hidden detail, but the Marvel Studios logo transitions to an animated version, which means it can be added to the short list of times the logo has been changed for a show or a movie. Let's see. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
During the gorgeous opening credits, you can see pieces of upcoming What If episodes like the Zombies, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Vision, and more.
Yeah. But
Man, Doctor Strange looks so on point.
yeah. But for me, these are not like really Easter eggs.
No, they're just pointing out. Oh, look at the zombie one. They're just pointing out facts right now.
I
Let me
think the
see.
zombie one's gonna be the next episode.
No, I already saw it. It's not.
Oh, so it's this episode that just came out then?
Yeah, I just saw episode 3.
Oh, okay.
We're introduced.
I haven't seen it yet.
We're introduced to the Watcher in this episode, and he explains that he oversees the multiverse in the comics. Oatu.
Oh,
Sorry.
they said a bad word. I'm like, what'd she say?
Uatu, an immortal being, observes the multiverse from the blue area of the moon.
Oh, what?
So these are more just facts.
Yeah.
The character was first introduced in 1963 in the Fantastic Four comic book, where Uatu reveals himself to the Fantastic Four. The moment that changes the course of Peggy's life is when she decides to not go into the booth, which is a moment taken directly from Captain America, the First Avenger.
And they did
Yeah.
pretty good job on the characters, man. They
For reals. Also, because of this, Heinz Kruger uses his lighter before Steve is injected with the super soldier serum, whereas in Captain America the First Avenger, he uses it after, since he was in the booth instead of on the floor. Everything blows up. There it goes right there. We're looking at pictures along with it.
yeah.
Oh, there's Tommy Lee Jones. Kruger also ends up shooting Colonel Phillips while trying to retrieve the super soldier serum instead of shooting Dr. Erskine like he does in Captain America the First Avenger. So yeah, that was a big difference right
Yeah.
there. He shot him. What's going on? ¿Por qué no me dejas? Oh, Hold on.
I think that's it for
No.
no, just I can't find
I
anymore.
wonder why I did that.
There you go.
Yeah, there it goes.
You can scroll now.
The shot of Peggy shooting Kruger so he doesn't escape the lab mirrors when Peggy shoots Kruger's driver in Captain America: The First Avenger. Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool.
Peggy-
Wait. Go back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done.
Peggy's transformation into a super soldier happens the exact same way as when Steve is injected with the serum in Captain America: The First Avenger. Not really hidden detail, but the side-by-sides are so cool. So there she is. Boom. There he is. Boom. But he comes out super jacked.
I'm slowly getting there.
Agent Flynn, who is voiced by Bradley Whitford, is a prominent character in this episode of What If. He was previously featured in the short Marvel one-shots Agent Carter. Oh, I didn't know that. When Peggy is testing her new strength, she sends a punching bag across the room, which is the same thing Steve does in the Avengers. Yeah, that's right. Steve mentions to Peggy that Flynn could stick her on a USO tour, which is, of course, a perfect nod to Steve having to do the USO tour in Captain America: The First Avenger. So this is some of the ways, too, that they managed to shorten
Right.
and make this more concise. The box Howard Stark gives to Peggy that contains her Captain Carter uniform says Howard Designer Clothing, which is just a fun detail. That is pretty hilarious.
I didn't notice that.
Peggy's Captain Carter costume is a nod to Captain Britain's costume from the Marvel comic books. In the comics, Brian Braddock fights as Captain Britain and was first introduced in 1976. Yeah, it looks a lot like his costume, actually.
Oh, like Captain Britain?
Yeah. When Peggy, Howard, and Flynn are looking at the map, the shot mirrors when Peggy, Steve, and Phillips look at a similar map in Captain America: The First Avenger. Yeah. Also, Red Skull finds the Tesseract in Tonsberg, Norway, which also happens in Captain America: The First Avenger, and New Asgard in Avengers Endgame is located in Tonsberg. I didn't know that. That's cool. Welcome to New Asgard. When Peggy goes looking for the 107 Infantry Regiment, she finds Bucky in a cell alongside Dum Dum Dugan, but in Captain America: The First Avenger, Steve finds Bucky in a Hydra lab, not in a cell. That was a good one.
Dum Dum Dugan.
When Peggy, Bucky, and the rest of the Howling Commandos bust out of the factory, the shot and formation mirrors when Steve fought alongside the Howling Commandos.
Yeah, when I saw that, I
that one
definitely
right
saw
there.
that. Yeah,
that looks
I'm
so
like,
cool.
that was such on point.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
And that's the cool thing about these shows, because they have such a good reference from the past movies.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
they
for
could
sure.
easily reflect them and make
Yeah.
it work. Oh.
Yeah. Steve's Hydra Stomper suit that Howard makes looks almost identical to Tony Stark's first Iron Man suit from Iron Man.
And
It looks, yeah, it looks like a mixture of Iron Monger and the first suit that he made in the cave.
Yeah.
It's like a combination of both of them.
Yeah.
On the Hydra Stomper, you can see C-15, which might be a nod to Captain America issue 115, which features Steve fighting Red Skull and fighting the Cosmic Cube, a.k.a. the Tesseract. Oh, that's cool. Captain America issue 15 also featured Bucky and Steve fighting side by side, so that's another option as to what the number is a nod to. After Peggy, Steve, and the Howling Commandos fighting montage, Peggy and Steve share a drink at a bar, but in Captain America: The First Avenger, Steve actually shares a drink with Bucky. That was a funny part.
Mm-hmm.
In What If, Bucky and Howard interrupt Steve and Peggy's almost kiss, while in Captain America: The First Avenger, Peggy interrupts Steve and Bucky's conversation. Or almost kiss. Just kidding. Peggy makes a comment that maybe Bucky is afraid of trains, which is a nod to Bucky falling off a train and seemingly dying in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this, but yeah, we weren't doing Easter eggs.
No.
but we did.
No. Peggy and the Howling Commandos' raid on the train is called Operation Where Eagles Dare, Where Eagles Dare is a movie from 1968 which follows Allies forces as they try to save a prisoner from a Nazi-controlled castle. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, likewise.
Later on in the episode, Peggy and the rest of her team corner Red Skull in a castle. When Peggy saves Bucky from falling off the train, he mentions that she almost ripped his arm off, which is, of course, a nod to Bucky losing his arm and becoming the Winter Soldier. And Steve eventually falls to his death off the train instead of Bucky. Using the Tesseract, Red Skull unleashes a deadly tentacle monster, and while its name is never mentioned in the episode, it could be Shamu Gorath from the comics and Marvel superheroes video games. Shamu Gorath is a mythical, one-eyed, multiversal tentacle monster who often clashes with Doctor Strange.
I honestly thought that tentacle character thing was from the Guardians of the Galaxy from the second one when they're fighting it. That's what I thought it was.
Oh no, that's a different. Yeah,
because it didn't have tentacles as well.
Kind of, but it had like a very unique body.
But they never show the body here. They just show.
Well, they show you the mouth on this one. At one point, it
Oh,
screams,
yeah, you're right, yeah.
You know, it's rumored that Shamu Gorath could appear in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as well. While fighting the monster, Peggy uses a sword, which is a reference to one of Captain Britain's signature weapons in the comics. In fact, Captain Britain often fights with the legendary sword Excalibur.
Ooh.
Doo-doo-doo. Of course, Steve and Peggy's iconic dance moment from Captain America: The First Avenger is different this time around, with Peggy sacrificing herself instead of Steve. And finally, Peggy eventually emerges 70 years later and is greeted by Nick Fury and Hawkeye, just like Loki was after using the Tesseract at the beginning of the Avengers. I think he even says, "Man, put the sword down."
Mm-hmm.
Nick Fury's first words to Steve in Captain America: The First Avenger are about how he's been gone 70 years, and that's what he says to Peggy here as well. Did you catch any other Easter eggs or cool details? Have a better theory for one mentioned above, blah, blah, blah. What if? Blah, 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 blah. All right, let me find the second one now.
Okay. That's cool. There's a few things that I don't know about that, but yeah, we talked certain things because we were just talking about the movie back then. I mean the show, last week, but yeah, excited to see what other Easter eggs are now on the episode 2.
All right, here we go. Now we're going into Easter eggs for episode 2 with the what if T'Challa had been picked up by the Ravagers rather than...
I'm going to turn off this light.
You're going to turn off what? The light?
Yeah, it creates too much heat.
Oh, okay. All right, Kenny's going to go off and turn off the light so we can have a more romantic setting. All right, here we go. All right, number 1. First, the opening of this episode mirrors the opening scene from Guardians of the Galaxy where Peter goes to Morag to steal the orb, aka the Power Stone. There we go.
It would have been funny. We would have been dancing and singing.
Yeah, that would have been, but it should have been like a
sense,
hip hop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In this reality, Korath is a massive fan of Star-Lord, which is different from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he doesn't even know who Star-Lord is. That was so funny. Come on, man, Star-Lord. Who?
Yeah, this threw off because I was watching reactions of other people from YouTube.
Yeah.
And everybody was thrown off because they're like, "Oh, here it is. He's gonna like not know who this guy is."
Yeah.
And it was like the total opposite. It's like, "You're Star-Lord."
Yeah. Who? T'Challa even says, "This was not the reaction I was expecting." Korath asks if he should bow or kneel, and T'Challa says neither is necessary, which is similar to what he said to Bruce Banner when he arrived in Wakanda during Avengers Infinity War.
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we don't do that here.
Yondu and the Ravagers actually accompany Star-Lord to Morag in this reality, which is different from Guardians of the Galaxy, where Peter Quill goes on his own to steal the orb. I said the Ravager never flies solo. T'Challa mentions the Krillorians while talking to Yondu about their treasure. Karina, one of the Collector's slaves in Guardians of the Galaxy, is Krillorian. Oh. Karina also makes an appearance in this episode. Also, T'Challa says that if the Ravagers still operated like they used to, Yondu would only have half of his teeth, which is exactly the case in Guardians of the Galaxy. T'Challa's ship is named Mandela after Nelson Mandela, one of T'Challa's heroes.
Oh, I never caught that.
Yeah, in Guardians of the Galaxy, the ship is named Milano after Peter's childhood crush, Alyssa Milano. Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
I didn't catch that. See, now that's an Easter egg.
Yep, that's an Easter egg. The flashback to T'Challa being taken from Wakanda happens in 1988, which is before the flashback with Najobu in Black Panther. 1992, Oakland, California. Oh, that's right. Remember, they go that's where his dad finds out that his brother was stealing weapons from Wakanda.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like a triple cross because the guy that he was with was actually also Wakandan. Yeah. Of course, T'Challa's abduction by the Ravagers is identical to Peter Quill's abduction in the opening scene of Guardians of the Galaxy. That was cool.
It is when you like Quill is a little frightened.
Yeah, and T'Challa's like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
While talking about how T'Challa stopped Thanos, it's mentioned that his plan was genocide, which is something Doctor Strange brings up in Avengers Infinity War.
I love the fact that every time he would tell his story, he's like, man, that's genocide.
Well, I mean, it's efficient and it's random. Drax's wife and daughter are still alive in this reality because Thanos and Ronan never murdered them alongside half the population of Drax's planet.
That photo op was hilarious.
That was awesome. Instead, Drax's planet is overrun with Kree, and Star-Lord saves everyone. While talking to Nebula, T'Challa mentions that Thanos loves gardening, which is something we see him do at the beginning of the Avengers Endgame after he thinks he's won. I liked how she kept calling him Cha-Cha.
Oh, yeah.
In the comics, Thanos also gardens after he retires. Also, something to note is that Nebula only has one cyborg eye, which means in this reality, T'Challa reasoned with Thanos before he continued to experiment on Nebula. And actually, that eye thing,
Yeah.
and her whole look actually reminds me, and I don't know if this is a little Easter egg on their part or not, but it reminds me of a character named Seven of Nine from Star Trek.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, like her eye thing looks exactly like Seven of Nine's, and her style, like her elegance and her hair and everything, she looks a lot like Seven of Nine in this.
Wait, go back. I'm just trying. No. Scroll down to the same picture, but like I'm just looking at the wine glass.
Oh,
Like there's no
there's no bottom.
Yeah.
No, they were inside of something.
Oh,
they were
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
yeah,
catch
there's-
that. I mean,
there's no bottom.
that's different.
Yeah.
He used that as a weapon.
Yes. Just because I love attention to detail, the coordinates for nowhere in this reality still match the ones we see in Guardian of the Galaxy. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. We learn that the Black Order are working for the Collector instead of Thanos. In case you need a refresher, Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, and the rest of Black Order work for Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. They all look awesome.
Yeah. They did such a good job.
Inside the Collector's base, T'Challa passes Cosmo, the space dog, who was also seen in Guardians of the Galaxy. In the comics, Cosmo is a security chief on Nowhere and a member of Guardians of the Galaxy. T'Challa also passes by a dark elf in a cage. Malekith and other dark elves notably battled the Asgardians in Thor: The Dark World, and you could spot one in the Collector's collection in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's right. Of course, T'Challa also runs into Howard the Duck, who we also see sipping a green drink in Guardians of the Galaxy. I know this isn't a hidden detail, but I just love talking about Howard the Duck because I get. Yeah, he's got a full suit on.
Yeah, and I love his design in this.
Yeah, the design is awesome. In Marvel Comics, Howard the Duck has worked with many superheroes like the Defenders. While running through the Collector's Treasure Room, T'Challa passes several notable ships from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First, we can see one of the Nova Corps ships and the pods that Ronan's followers used in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's right.
I didn't catch that.
There you go. And you can spot the Grandmaster's infamous party ship from Thor Ragnarok. Oh, that's funny. I didn't see that.
I didn't catch that either.
Oh, that's awesome.
His party shit.
Also, this appears to be the ship that Scott and the team used to enter the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, that's cool. I didn't spot that either.
Man.
That's awesome. Look at that. The Collector mentions getting a fist off of a terribly chatty Cronin, and Korg from Thor Ragnarok is a terribly chatty Cronin. Yeah, that made me sad. When I was watching the episode, I realized he took his arm off. You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors. My name is Korg. I'm made of rock.
See, those are the only weapons I recognize. I don't know what if the other ones are.
Let me see. Among the Collector's weapons, you can spot that he has Captain America's
Pause!
shield.
I just saw something.
What?
I'm not reading it yet. But if you look all the way to the right, that looks like the shovel from
Oh yeah, from
Loki.
Yeah, the Chrono shovel, whatever.
Yeah.
You can spot Captain America's shield, Mjolnir, and what looks like one of Loki's daggers. And yeah, that totally looks like
So I'm thinking all those weapons are like we've seen them in the MCU.
Oh, I'm sure we. But here's one interesting thing: if you look at the upper right hand side, doesn't that look like a giant gun?
Yeah, that's the Joker's gun.
yeah, like I've gotten in other universes making some of them too. The Asgardian's goddess of death, who the Collector refers to, is obviously Hela, and he even wears her helmet and mimics her moves from Thor Ragnarok.
Honestly, when he did that, it made me feel a little uncomfortable.
Because he was too sexy, and you're like, "Oh, it's too sexy."
I can't even think right now.
When Yondu arrives to help T'Challa, the Guardians of the Galaxy theme song can be heard in the background. Yeah, that's right. While in Wakanda, Kraglin talks about jump points and how they make your face all weird, which is something we saw happen in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That was one of my favorite... that was one of my favorite things. And finally, when Ego finds Peter Quill on Earth, he's working at a Dairy Queen. And in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, while Ego is living with Meredith Quill, they visit a Dairy Queen. Oh, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like shot for shot, too.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's cool.
You know, I felt like it. Yeah, in this one, you know, T'Challa like saves a lot of stuff in the universe, but I left it open for Ego to basically destroy everything.
Yeah.
Because Peter Quill, you know, he's I'm looking at him as, you know, he works at, you know, Dairy Queen, and he probably feels like he has not much to do or whatever, and he sees his dad, and his dad's really going to be able to brainwash him, man.
Yeah, for real. You can also see that Peter's still using his iconic Walkman from the movies. And that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any other... I don't think there is, but let's take a look. Yeah, you're going to love the third episode.
Yeah, I'll watch it probably later tonight. I just didn't have time yesterday.
One thing, too, that I've noticed is that none of these episodes so far are connected.
Yeah, I feel like they're just different timelines.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything.
Which I prefer. I prefer that. Like.
I like it. I mean, I like it. Oh, okay. So we've got a different collider, has different Easter eggs. So let's see. Star-Lord's eyes are purple instead of red on his helmet.
Oh yeah, now see that's an Easter egg.
That's an Easter egg. Korath actually recognizes Star-Lord. No bowing. We know that one. Carillions. No. Let me see. Mandela. We know. We just saw that. Drax's wife and daughter. We already covered that. Nebula's eye. Apparently, the trend in this reality, Nebula's life story appears to be far kinder in this version of reality as one mechanical part. She seems to be sporting an eye. Thanos, the gardener. We already covered that.
Yep.
The Nova Core. In the background of the Ravager's local watering hole. What appears to be the Nova Core can be seen on the balcony above, as evidenced by the yellow and blue distinctive jackets. Oh, see, I didn't know that.
See, what I'm noticing more is like, what the heck is holding up those freaking glasses? Are they just hovering?
They might be hovering. But, okay, so the Nova Corps are chilling at where they are.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Order, let's see if they have anything new. In this timeline, instead of serving... Oh, no. Okay, same thing. Cosmo the Space Dog, continue the trend of Guardians of the Galaxy, comes across... Cosmo, we already saw that. Dark Elf, already read that. Howard the Duck made his third appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe following his Guardians of the Galaxy post-credits scene in the Avengers Endgame cameo. The appearance of Howard the Duck is not only a cameo in and of itself, but the character is also used to make reference to other species in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Frost Giants, oh, that's right, when he's telling them where to go.
Yeah.
And the Cronins, which is Korg's race. More on him later, unfortunately. Is that an X-Wing? Oh, is there another?
Yeah.
As T'Challa sprints through the space garage full of ships, what appears to be an X-Wing from Star Wars universe can be seen parked in the background during press for What If. Writer A.C. Bradley revealed that while she wanted to include Star Wars characters in the series, Disney told her they're not her toys. In addition to the apparent X-Wing, Captain Marvel's jet, Ant-Man's quantum ship, Xandarian ship, the Grandmaster ship, and one of Ronan's Necrocrafts can also be seen stationed. Iconic Marvel Cinematic Universe weapons. Let's see if they have more. The fate of the Avengers in this universe is brought into question, and Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer, and one of Loki's daggers pop up in the prize position. But that's it.
They didn't name my shovel.
The Collector is far more of a force in this timeline, and that's thanks in part to his possession of Hela's horn helmet, which is also apparently bestows him with her blade-throwing powers. Oh. The bartender from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I forgot about that. He looks like that what are those big giant things called again? That one from.
Well, let's see here. Let's see what it says. As Howard the Duck kicks back for a libation at the Collector's bar, a familiar face can be seen tending it, as a robotic bartender that served Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok can be seen working his shift.
Yeah, but his design, because
it does look like a celestial.
Yeah,
a little bit.
And
yeah,
you see it in the live action one too, right? He
Korg's dead, wielding a rocky severed arm. The Collector Acme's he got it from a terribly chatty Cronin. T'Challa's family. In the emotional closing moment of the episode, T'Challa is reunited with the long-lost Wakandan family, Shuri, King T'Chaka, Ramana, and Okoyo.
You know what throws me off on this one? Because T'Challa's father, knowing that his son's, gone, you would think that he would want to, procreate another male to...
This is not... Coming to America too.
I just say
she is your queen. This is not that at all. So no, no, not one bit of it. Nice try though. All right. Well, anyway, that's the Easter eggs for episode 1, episode 2 of What If. A little bit of my road trip conversation. If I remember anything else, I'll bring it up next time. But. I miss my daughter already, but I'm so happy that she's getting to start her college life and becoming an adult.
It's a new journey in her book.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. So anyway, man, happy to be home, happy to be back, happy to see you.
Glad you're okay.
Yeah, man, thank you. And we shall come back at you guys next week with our impressions of both the Eternals and the Spider-Man trailer, and so we'll talk about that.
And maybe some other trailers, because there's
okay.
another two that I'm not sure if you've seen them yet, but I'm thinking you have.
Maybe not, but we'll talk about that too.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for everything. We are Hispanerds on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything and everything. Please give us a follow, and if you can, go give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We would really appreciate it.
Please.
As always, eat your vegetables, drink your water,
Stay hydrated.
and we'll talk to you later. Bye.